I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years.
This seems
Nobody
like a scene
listened.
in a movie
Nobody
where
listened.
the robots are going to fucking take over and you're freaking me out. Nobody listened.
Nobody listened.
Elon Musk has been warning us for years. Artificial intelligence is coming faster and with greater consequences than anyone expects. He called it summoning the demon. He predicted it could become more dangerous than nuclear weapons. For years, it sounded like exaggeration, but today, those warnings no longer feel distant. The age of AI is no longer an idea on the horizon. It has arrived, and Musk is not alone anymore. One of the clearest and most unsettling voices to echo his concerns is Yuval Noah Harari, a historian who believes AI is not simply another invention, but the single most disruptive force in human history. From Musk's fear to Harari's urgency.
I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon. Didn't work out.
When Musk warned about AI, many dismissed him as alarmist. Yet what he was pointing to is now undeniable. Artificial intelligence has moved beyond being just another machine. It is becoming a force that can act independently, capable of influencing systems in ways that no one fully controls. This is exactly where Harari takes the conversation further. He stresses that we are not dealing with tools anymore. We are dealing with agents, entities that can learn, adapt, and make choices on their own. The shift Musk foresaw is no longer theoretical.
Do you think that there's a real danger that if we mishandle artificial intelligence, it could literally wipe us out?
Yes, and it's not only me. Many of the experts in the field, including the people who developed this technology, share some of the same fears.
Harari draws a sharp line between the inventions of the past and what we face now. The printing press, the atom bomb, the airplane, these were powerful, but always in human hands. Artificial intelligence changes that balance. A tool responds only to the person using it. An agent, however, is different. It sets its own goals, adjusts when conditions change, and carries out actions that cannot be fully predicted in advance. If you can predict every step, it is not truly AI, it is simply automation. This is why agency is so profound. A calculator will never surprise you, but an AI agent can. It can generate ideas you never thought of, take approaches you did not foresee, and adapt faster than you can respond. Multiply that unpredictability across billions of agents, and you begin to understand why Harari says this is a revolution unlike any other in history. And the first places where this revolution is already showing itself are on the battlefield and in the boardroom. The battlefield and the boardroom. The results of this shift are already showing. Harari points to the Gaza conflict as one of the first real AI-driven wars. Algorithms were not just assisting with intelligence or logistics, they were influencing decisions about which targets to strike and which buildings to destroy. Choices that once required a general's judgment were now shaped by lines of code. And while that is alarming, Harari argues the even greater battlefield lies in the financial system. Finance is pure information, and information is what AI consumes best. Already, most trades on Wall Street are executed by algorithms. The next step is clear. Autonomous AI agents will begin creating new financial strategies and products so complex that no human can understand them. At first, the profits will look extraordinary. Markets will celebrate. Politicians will hesitate to interfere. But when a collapse comes, there may not be a single human being capable of explaining what went wrong. Unlike 2008, when at least a handful of experts could trace the crisis back to subprime mortgages, this time the damage may be beyond human comprehension. And this raises an even deeper question about AI itself, whether its intelligence can ever truly be trusted as truth. Section 4. Intelligence without truth.
The basic problem with AI is that it is an alien agent and therefore unpredictable and untrustworthy.
Harari also dismantles a common misconception. Many assume that if AI is highly intelligent, it must also be closer to truth. He reminds us that intelligence and truth are not the same. Human beings prove this point every day. We are capable of remarkable feats of science and art, yet we also cling to conspiracy theories, myths, and illusions that no other species would invent. Intelligence allows us to solve problems, but it does not shield us from delusion. Now imagine this problem magnified. A super intelligent AI could also become super delusional, pursuing strategies with incredible efficiency while based on flawed assumptions. That risk becomes even more dangerous once we no longer have the ability to question or interpret its reasoning. This is what Musk has long feared when he warned that AI might destroy humanity, not out of malice, but through simple misalignment. Harari explains why that outcome is possible. Intelligence, no matter how advanced, does not guarantee wisdom, which is why the conversation must also include responsibility and how humans decide to guide AI's enormous potential. Section 5. Potential and responsibility. Still, Still, Harari does not deny that AI could transform the world for the better. He imagines a healthcare system where everyone has access to the equivalent of the best doctor on Earth available at any moment. Education could be tailored to each student, regardless of language or geography. Labor shortages could be solved in ways that improve lives rather than exhaust them. Yet potential does not equal destiny. Harari's warning is that AI will not automatically serve humanity's best interests. Left unguided, it could just as easily destabilize societies, undermine democracies, or widen inequalities. The responsibility, therefore, cannot be delegated. As he puts it, we cannot rely on AI to make these choices for us. Ethics and values must remain firmly in human hands. Musk echoes the same urgency when he calls for regulation and oversight, knowing that without them, the risks may easily outweigh the rewards. And to grasp just how much hangs in the balance, Harari asks us to rethink the very nature of history itself, the open future. Harari also reframes how we think about history itself. For centuries, people believed history followed a straight path toward a destined conclusion, or repeated itself in cycles. Harari argues that neither is true. History is open-ended, and AI makes it even more so. The future of jobs, for example, is now uncertain. Coding, once seen as the essential skill of the 21st century, could be obsolete in a decade if AI writes its own software. Professions from journalism to law may face similar upheaval. The only certainty is adaptability. Survival in this new world will depend not on mastering one trade for life, but on the ability to keep learning and reinventing ourselves continuously. Harari's advice is blunt. Do not prepare your children for one career. Prepare them to face constant change. And while Harari's perspective is critical, he is not the only voice adding urgency to this debate. Beyond Musk and Harari,
we're moving into a period when, for the first time ever, we may have things more intelligent than us.
You believe they can understand?
Yes.
You believe they are intelligent?
Yes.
You believe these systems have experiences of their own and can make decisions based on those experiences?
In the same sense as people do, yes.
Are they conscious?
I think they probably don't have much self-awareness at present. So in that sense, I don't think they're conscious.
Musk and Harari may be the loudest voices, but they are not the only ones. Geoffrey Hinton, often called the godfather of AI, resigned from Google to warn about the dangers of the very systems he helped create. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, has urged governments to regulate AI before it grows beyond control. Leaders at companies like DeepMind and Anthropic have admitted that AI could pose risks on the scale of nuclear weapons or pandemics. Different experts, different institutions, yet their message aligns. AI is advancing faster than society can adapt, and the time to act is shrinking. And while experts debate publicly, the reality is that AI is already embedding itself silently into the systems we rely on every day. Section 8, the silent takeover, already underway.
Artificial intelligence is presenting a real challenge to the American workforce. A fresh new report shows more than 10,000 jobs have been cut so far this year due to the rise of generative AI in private companies. Bank of America's CEO talked about the impact of AI on job growth on Face the Nation Sunday.
The popular imagination often jumps to robots in the streets, but Harari insists the real revolution is far quieter. It is already happening in the systems we interact with daily. AI curates what news you read, influences whether your job application is seen, decides who receives a loan, and even helps guide military logistics. Each of these systems seems small on its own, but together they represent a sweeping takeover of decision-making in human life. By the time the average person realizes how deeply AI is embedded, the transformation may already be irreversible. This is the reality Musk warned of, and it is the urgency Harari demands we face now, which brings us to the most important point of all, the choice that remains in our hands. The choice is ours. Musk sounded the alarm when he said something big was coming. Harari shows us the shape of that reality now that it has arrived. Billions of AI agents are beginning to make decisions across finance, war, and governance. Their intelligence does not guarantee truth. Their power does not ensure wisdom, and the revolution they represent could either elevate humanity or destabilize it completely.
Who do you think comes out on top? Drop your thoughts in the comments. You're watching Creative Comparisons. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next great matchup. Got a comparison in mind? Tell us below.